and welcome to the Fat Squirrel Speaks. Today is Tuesday, April 11th. It's April 2nd. Sorry. It's a day late. Sorry. I don't even know what day it is. I have no idea what episode it is. It's 50 something. My hair's all crazy. Super frizzy, floofy style. If you're new, ta-da! I would like to pretend that it's normally more organized, but it totally isn't. No false advertising here, okay? If you're a returning viewer, thank you. I know there are lots of really great podcasts out there, so I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to watch mine. There are no shenanigans. I know, right? You would think I'm a day late recording. I should have some super great shenanigans to share with you. Sorry. Just a sick kid. And I apologize, you're probably going to hear junk in the background because she's watching a television show and she's got a terrible ear infection. And so she's mildly deaf in one ear now. Just temporarily. Just until the pus dies down. So that's why I'm a day late recording. She's been very sick. She had the ear infection like a couple weeks ago. Well, evidently the antibiotic, even though we took all 10 days, I promise, no cheating on the antibiotic. Now she's whistling. No antibiotic cheating. That's a responsibility both to your family and to society as a whole. Don't create superbug. Do your 10 days. We did our 10 days. What was I even talking about? Oh, but evidently the 10 days was not enough to crush the insane gunkiness of her ear. So we had to go back to the doctor yesterday. She's been sick. She's been really sick, actually. She was at grandma's, and so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, pretty much those 3 days. I got her on Sunday. She's not eating anything, just laid around. Like, that's not her. The eating, yes, she could go 6 weeks without eating, I think. But she laid around and did not talk. What's wrong with her? She had terrible earache, and because of it, the doctor said she probably had a stomach bug and an earache, but I don't know why it matters to me, because she was sick either way. But I secretly think that she had, I think her earache was so bad, the ear infection was so bad, that it was actually throwing off her middle ear equilibrium-y stuff, or her inner ear. Which one does that? Oh gosh, I'm such a fail. Anyway, our whole family is super prone. Actually, my husband is fine. He's so genetically superior in so many ways. And she so did not get that. Sorry, kid. My whole line is like terribly susceptible to motion sickness. I think it must be matrilineally inherited. Somebody needs to find that out. Tell me. I know there's a geneticist out there somewhere. Anyway, so our whole family gets very seriously motion sick. She cannot be in a car for more than basically 22 minutes, unless it's a curvy road, and then it's way less. But even on highway, 22 minutes is her max for in a car without getting sick. So, so I think it messed up her ear enough that it made her nauseous, because she did not eat anything for 3 days, which is crazy. And then as soon as her ear started feeling better, now she's able to eat. So I don't know. Again, why does it matter? I have no idea, but it does somehow in my mind. So I would like to pretend this isn't more. If you're a new viewer, thanks for watching. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. New viewers, old viewers, discuss. I would like to pretend that this is more disorganized than normal, but it's not. It's always crazy. So yeah, those are the shenanigans of unshenaniganiness. Shenanigan fail. But I did have a very lovely time, even though my kiddo was sick. And she had a nice time at grandma's, and I had a nice time here, not fetching people things. It was awesome. Now, it sounds like I'm not like one of those moms that just waits on their kid hand and foot. But I will be honest and tell you that I do get her drinks for her more often than not, just because, well, it's easier to get the drink than to clean up the massive spill that usually results from the drink spills. I know it's terrible. I know that's a terrible thing. I'm working on it. So there it is. There it have you. I will do thank yous, which is sort of enabling-y at the beginning, because, I like to mix it up. I just want to say not a very quick thank you. I want to say a serious thank you. Lovely Jan at Friends and Fiber sent me this package of goodies. So Friends and Fiber, I don't know if you know them. They have a lovely Etsy shop. They do a lot of like dyed tops, which are beautiful, but they also do local fibers. So I like that they do both of those things. And this is actually so cute. I have to actually read directly from the letter that Jan sent me because I'm afraid that my distillation thereof will not be nearly as darling as what was actually written. This is just an excerpt from the letter. But she's talking about this fiber. So she knows a lot of people like to spin local fibers, but local fibers are usually natural colors. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes, I'll admit it. I love the thought of natural fibers and the thought of undyed fibers, but it is more fun to spin the colors. That's just all there's to it. I don't know. I shouldn't say it's more fun because it is really fun. Oh, I don't know, but I'm just saying. Sometimes you do want some color. Whatever. Just loveliness. Yay! It's very smooshy. And what it is, it's 50% colored merino from like commercial colored merino, and then 50% of a newer ewe called Pippi Longstocking. And this is why I have to tell you about this because this is the backstory on Pippi. And it's too cute. So Lillian, who is the ewe that produced their like Vermont sampler packs from last year, or part of them, gave birth to twins a year ago last spring. But poor little Pippi was rejected by her mother. Aww. She had a tough start, but was brought into the house where she spent 2 to 3 months living in a dog crate in the kitchen. She had exceptionally long legs, hence her name. In infancy, Pippi got a diaper with the hole for her tail and tore around the house, pronging over sleeping dogs, watching TV in the evening in her owner's lap, climbing into the dishwasher, and always underfoot, it seemed. She was a fearless explorer and is still a social, friendly, outgoing ewe who loves people and 10 scratches. So go buy some stuff for Pippi. Her fiber's available at Friends and Fiber. They have an Etsy shop. I'll put a link in. Not only is it lovely, part of this fiber has been in a Vermont dishwasher while it was still attached to a lamb. Right? Because she's only a year old, so it still would be... Yeah, right. What? Thanks, Jan! Okay, now for knitting! Yes, Tova Grace? You okay? Okay. First finished object. I'm so sorry. Let me also announce there is no spinning. I have not touched my spinning reel all week. I've just been knitting up a storm. I've been having such a lovely time knitting. I just haven't spun. Part of me wishes I had spun, but part of me was so excited about knitting that I didn't really worry about it at the time. So I guess I am completely okay with my progress. So this is the Bosque hat. Now, it is not the Bosque hat. It is the Bosque, like a, isn't that a pear? A Bosque pear? I think that's a saying, right? And it is by, I wrote down the things on a piece of paper. And then I proceeded to just toss the paper aside. I was so excited about Pippi. This is the Bosque, B-O-S-C, hat by Robin Ulrich. And thank you very much, Kristen. She gave to me this hat pattern. And this is made with Quinton Company, the worsted weight, which I think is... I totally forgot. Oops, sorry. It's the worsted weight one, and this is the honey colorway. So you can block it as a tam, like over a dinner plate, which I might do. I don't know. I haven't decided. Or you can just, lay it flat. So I haven't decided which one to do. I like it this way, but maybe I would like it even better the other way. I don't know. But this, let me just discuss this yarn that I can't remember the name of. I love it. It is so squishy. Ooh, that's the way I should do it. Really wear it. I'm the Pope of yarn, yo. And I think that's the new title. Oh, that's so offensive. I probably shouldn't do that. I don't know. I can't decide if I'm that. Oh my god, look, that has to be the title. And hopefully the still blip uses. Bishop, maybe that's less offensive? I don't think that's any less offensive, quite frankly. Maybe I can think of a Pope word that is not Pope, but is yarny sounding. What is this so awesome? Ah, totally needs weird like that. That won't get me attraction. The looks of fierce weirdness. Anyway. I'm sorry, it's been a slow week, people. This is like the highlight of my entertainment. So sorry. So yes, woohoo! I totally dig it though, even though this is really not the way I wear it. But I totally dig it. And this yarn is awesome. It is so. It's not squishy, I mean it's squishy, but it's not. It is kind of puffy, but it's also. I don't know. It's squishy dense. It's squishins. It's quince squishins. Maybe I planned that all along. I don't think so. But I totally love it. Did I say thank you to Krista for giving me this pattern? I think I did. So yay! I knit that on US 5s, I think. Second finished object is the Palisades cowl, I believe. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Yes. By the lovely Gail Zucker, who's going to be a teacher at SSK. There she is. Isn't she beautiful? And there's her beautiful cowl. Oops, sorry. I just totally closed something. Yeah, we'll all pay for that later when I'm looking for it. I'm sorry. And hers is knit with Silk Garden Chunky and Misty Alpaca Super Chunky. Mine is knit with hand spun that I made from Highland Handmade Superwash BFL in the This smells really good. Why does this smell so good? Oh, remember the last week I bought those, I bought those. I made those washcloths for my cousins and their babies. The soap came and it was laying next to the soap. That's why. I'm like, what is that about? But mine is made with, did I already say this? Lord have mercy. Anyway, Highland Handmaid's double plug, maybe. In Superwash BFL in the Predatory colorway, that's the like orangey gray white. And then, confession, some Lion brand Woolies, just in the gray. And then I didn't have like chunky yarn, so I just doubled everything. So this is just a worsted weight doubled. And then this was basically a worsted weight, maybe slightly, maybe a DK. And I doubled it, and I just used it until it was all gone. But I had other lots. My hair is so ridiculous. I had lots of other gray yarn, but none of it was soft. This is so soft. The Superwash BFL is so soft. It's so squishy and so soft. I think it's softer than regular BFL. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it is. Because BFL that you spin is kind of like one of those, like, one way or the other. Now, BFL that's already spun, like in a commercial yarn, I find to be completely fine for next to the skin wear. In fact, I wore my Fat Squirrel Fibers plug Twigs and Willows cardigan the other day, all day, and I just had a short sleeve I wore a tank top underneath it, and sleeveless shirt, whatever. So it was next to my arms all day, and it did not bother me at all. But I think it's because I spin more wooleny instead of more worstedy. When I spin BFL, it feels a little scratchier than I want right next to my skin, usually. That's probably what it is. It's probably just woolen versus worsted spinning. So it's like one of those marginal fibers that, like, if it's worsted spun, I love it next to my skin. If it's woolen spun, it's a little sketchier for me. But anyway, I totally dig it for what it is. This yarn is, this Highland Handmaids was very lovely, and I'm glad I was able to stretch it with the crapo woolies and make it into a bigger object. So yay, and that's my SSK number 3, knit along, which, oh, by the way, if you need a fast project, I knit this during a movie, because it's knit on size 13s. I didn't have 13s, so I knit mine on 10.5s. So mine is a little bit less ginormous. It also has not been blocked. So mine is a little less big than hers is. The young girl's is in the picture. Oh, but one movie. Right. because basically on March 29th, I was like, oh, I have to finish that by March 31st. So I cast it on March 30th and I cast it off March 30th. So there's that. And those are the finished objects for this week. Okay. Works in progress. What do I have? Oh, I have my. Well, that's what I closed. Okay, I won't look for that because you know what it is. I know what it is. I am working on my gratitude knit along project, and it is the Gills Rock by the beautiful Paula Emmons Feasley of the Knitting Pipeline, which if you're not listening to. Psh. That's all I'm gonna say. And this is with the Quinson Company. Is it Lark? The tiny one? Really? Can I be more fail today? I don't have the ball band. It's the fingering weight one, which is written for in the pattern. This is the Robin's Egg colorway. Boink! Excuse me. Sorry, pardon me. You might be like, why don't you get some progress done on that? And to which I say, this is my gratitude project. It has to last until the end of April. Is this totally cheesy? But I secretly want to leave the bind off row for the retreat so that I can do the bind off there. So silly. But also, it's hard. Mindful knitting is a little slower than your normal just TV chugging. So it's sometimes harder for me to find slightly quieter moments. It doesn't have to be like perfect. What is that? It doesn't have to be like perfect silence or anything. But I don't want to do it while I'm watching TV, or I want to be able to concentrate on the gratitude that I'm knitting into it. So the gratitude pile is running through April. I think it's 29th is the Monday, but I'll close the thread. Yeah, any wearable for you. 1 entry per person, and you could win a totally awesome project bag from Bling Your String, like this one, only it's white and has black letters all over it. Blah, 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 blah. And it has like a little handy notions pouch in it. It's so awesome. And there's also crazy squirrel stitch markers, and there will also be more yarn that I will do next time. I'll show you next time. Yay! Is that all I need to say? I think so. See, what is my project bag from Knitspin Farm? Because I'm grateful for Joanna and her podcast. And I'm also grateful for her because she's also going to be in the Knitting Pipeline retreat. And she's the organizer of our carpool of awesomenitude. Yay! Okay, next work in progress. This is from my mommy. This is the funniest little project bag. I have so many projects going that I had to kind of dig out project bags. Okay. Oh, so that last project was Quincy Company Finch. It was the Robin's Egg colorway. And this is the Snap Pea colorway, also of Finch, which I just dropped on the ground. And this is the Oak Ridge hat, which is a fingering weight hat. I'm knitting mine on size US 1. I think they might be 1.5, but I'm not sure. So don't hold me to it. And I'm almost done. I'm actually ready to start the ribbing per the pattern, but I'm going to make mine at least 1 or maybe 5. I don't know. I'm going to make mine deeper, even though I would kind of like to be done. And this is the Oak Ridge hat. And that is by, sorry, this is all itchy, by Anna Sudo. And this was gifted to me by Chic Dreamery, who has her own podcast. And there it is. So yay! It's very pleasant. We had to take a very long car trip on Saturday. 5 hours each way. Actually, we didn't have to take a long car trip. Aside, my husband has to go out lots of places for his job, and we didn't have the child this last week, and he had to go out on a Saturday, and he asked me if I would go with him. So I said yes, because I was like, in my mind, I was like, all right, it's a 5-hour car ride, but that means that's 5 hours of guilt-free knitting. Plus, I'm supporting my husband, blah, blah, blah. Totally secondary. No, it wasn't. That was primary. Just being silly. But I was like, oh, well, I could probably knit that 5 hours out. And then there was 3 hours on site and then 5 hours back. I was like, I can get some serious knitting done. You know what? I'm a total car knitter fail. I'm not good at it at all. I think part of the reason is think this is too, it's not that it's hard, but I think the fine needles, and we were in like a commercial van, so it's like it's not a smooth ride. It was just not happening. So I really did not get any knitting hardly done at all. I knit when we were there on site, but I did not get any knitting done in the car. 10 hours of wasted time. That was kind of a bummer. Total aside. So anyway, I did knit. I think I did a couple hours, but not much. Not 10. Oh, sorry. I want to pick that card up before I lost it again. The tag. Quince. Okay, so since we're talking about Quince and Company, let's just keep talking about that. 3 projects in a row. Whee! So this is my Cara, which is by, I think, I'm lying. Oh, no, I'm not. Cecily Glowick McDonald, whose designs I do really just enjoy to no end. And this is actually knit in Quince Company. See the big old Q? Quince Company. And this is their chickadee base, which makes me happy every time I say it. Also in the split pea colorway. By the way, I totally want to make one in their, is it the nasturtium colorway that's orange? I finally got the color card. I just broke down and bought it. I finally got the color card, and their 2 oranges are really good. I hope this sweater fits, because if it does, I'm going to knit like 12 times. I'm not even lying. I hope that it works out well, because I dig this pattern in terms of knitting it. Now, I'm a little nervous about how it's going to fit, because it is a T shape, so there's no way shaping. But it's meant to flare out at the hip. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I hope it works, because it's so easy to knit. It's so fun to knit. It's fingering, or it's not fingering, it's sport weight, and I'm knitting mine on US 4s. I think the pattern suggests 6s, which is, that's typical for me to go down 2 sizes. But look, I made such good progress. There's the back, and there you cast on for the sleeve. How exciting is that? I think that's a slightly better color representation. It's not quite as dark as it's reading. It's a little bit lighter. But anyway, it's super, again, I hope it fits nicely, because it is super awesome to knit. It is a very easy lace repeat. I mean, shameless, really. There's only 2 rows. I mean, you repeat them more than once, but there's only 2 rows to memorize, and they're basically just the opposite of one another. Right? So easy. So it's relatively mindless, but not stockinette. You know what I mean? Because stockinette is a lot of stockinette. But this just is like, do. And plus it's, a little lacy, so it goes faster. Just because it's more open, So, I hope it works out. Because I'm not kidding you. I'm gonna knit like 20 sometimes. Would this be cute in orange? Right. Anyway. There's a lot of my neck fat for you. So that's going. So there's that. And then, okay, I'll show you that last, because that's new. That's a new work in progress. Then I have my watercourse, which is by Karina Spencer, and I am knitting that in the Peace Fleece worsted in the Marigold colorway on US 6s. Sorry, isn't it? And look at the progress I got done on this, yo! I have gotten. Oh, what? That's a whole front, you say? That's right. Oh, but wait. Oh, just teasing. There's 2. Sorry, it's all kind of crazy. I haven't set my pockets together yet. There's 2 fronts. Yeah. Oh no, that's the back. It's happening. No, that's the front. Okay. Yarr. And I haven't really started on the back. I think I have like 1 row. So there's the little butt pleat. This yarn smells so good. It smells so sheepy. Not really. It's not exactly sheepy, but it's sheepish. It smells so good. So there you can see the little, there's like a gap. There's not side shaping for the waist. There's just this little gathery part in the back, which works really well for me because I have a total stick in my mouth butt. It's like, whoomp. So hopefully it'll be cute. And it's so orange. I love it. It's so orange. I think this fall we need to have an orange along. What do you think? I'm going to have to give myself a little break because I'm not going to knit something orange right away. Unless that fits, then I might make that orange sweater. But anyway, crazy. We should have an orange along soon, don't you think? I think we should. Where you just brave your orange projects. Just go out on a limb and knit something orange. Don't you think that would be great? I think so. Anyway, so there's that. Mine is any modifications I have made. I've not made any modifications except mine is a little bit shorter. I don't really like a sweater that's longer than hip length, and this one is meant to go over. I think it might even maybe cup the butt a little bit. I don't like that so much. So I don't like a sweater that's longer than my widest part. Basically. It starts to look really like tent like on me. Which is not a look I want to foster. So mine is shorter than is recommended. I hope it's not too short. I put it up to me and it looks kind of short, but I think it's because of this I-cord, and hopefully that'll block out a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about the I-cord. Let me just discuss. If I was going to do this again, I would put in some fake rows of the I-cord. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's an applied I-cord edge, so it's every other row it's knitted, basically. I would do a couple of, well, not a couple, but if I'm going to knit it again, I would, like, every maybe 10 rows add like a double knitted one. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Or something. Because it makes me a little nervous that this is... In one hand, I think it'll be great because it'll make the front hold and it won't get that flared out issue, which sometimes longer sweaters get, which I don't like when it comes almost to a point in the middle of your thigh. So that's the reason I didn't mess with it, and I just trusted and I just went with the pattern, because I thought, well, maybe again it'll block out. It's wet, it's wool, it's got a little bit of nylon in it, but no, not nylon, mohair, nature's nylon. So I'm like, so I just left it as it was, but I'm a little bit nervous about it. Just a little bit. Hopefully it'll block out fine. I mean, it's fine right now, even just like stretching it a little bit, but it might be a little short in the front. Oh. It's orange, whatever, who cares? Nobody's going to see me in a giant orange sweater and be like, I think that front is about an inch off. No, they'll be like, oh my gosh, that is an orange sweater. Oh my gosh, it's got a hood. What up? That's what's going to happen. So, it's very fun to knit. Yay! But it's worsted weight. So whee! Then my last project was knitted. Was gifted to me by the designer, because I'm fancy like that. And you might know her. I don't know. Maybe if you don't live under a rock. Mel of Single Hand Knits, who has a podcast recently. Okay, check it out. So new pattern, Drizzle, and how cute is she? So stinking cute. Her photos for this project are all darling. Of course they are, because she's darling. But, so it is now, let me do this as a, here she is on the beach. That stinker. She's such a stinker. Doesn't she look cute? I could just punch her in the face with love. Because that's how cute she is. On the beach. Anyway. So hers is written, one is she knit in a sport weight, and I think the actual Ravelry pattern is sport, but one is a DK. So me and my infinite craziness had this yarn that I really wanted to use. I recently bought some socks that rock, because I've never had it before. So I have this colorway, which is Kapow! Patina! By the way, Froggy Monkey of One More Knitting in Circles totally just showed this on our podcast. What's up with the synchronicity, people? But we bought it without knowing that. So this is gorgeous, by the way. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to make this into a sockhead hat. But with your help, I was able to decide. This is the other colorway I bought. This is lightweight, by the way. With Sky Pumpkins. And I put a survey thread out because I was like, I know which one to use. So the overwhelming response was Sky Pumpkins. That's what I wanted. What was I going to say? Oh, but so the pattern is totally written for sport and DK. So I'm like, yeah, it's almost DK, right? It's not almost sport. But whatever. So mine is not the best example of the pattern, because I'm knitting mine It's fingering held double, which is worsted, but I still like it. But hers looks much lacier and much more like relaxed. Mine won't look quite that relaxed because my gauge is almost correct, but not quite. So it is still. I'll hold it to light there. Can you see? Yeah, you can still see through it. It's fairly open. See? So it's fairly relaxed, but it's not gonna be as relaxed as it would be in a sport or DK, which I think I'll need to knit next. But this is what I'm knitting now because I really want to knit with this yarn. There you can see a little bit of a lace repeat happening there. And I am very pleased with it. I'm knitting mine on US 5s. And I'm knitting the smallest size because I think, according to my gauge, it should be fine. And it'll end up being the larger size. So yeah. Isn't that fun looking? I don't know how to explain. It's really cute in person. Like, it has a really great texture to it. I think, again, mine is different because mine is fingering held double, which does different. Like, it does different. But instead of your yarn being a perfectly round yarn, it's more of a rectangular yarn because of it being held double. Does that make sense? So it does do something different to the texture, which I really enjoy. So yay for that. That's all the knitting I have. Oh my gosh, aren't you thankful? Shut up. Excuse me. However, I do have some shameless self-promotion. Okay. So if you're not interested in shameless self-promotion, I won't begrudge you that. And I'll see you next week. But if you are interested, shush your face. Hold on. There's going to be a shop update April 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's a Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So that gets most of the U.S. the time where they're awake. International people, I'm sorry, but trust me, not everything's going to sell out right away. Because, again, my theory, my process, my hope at this time is to have one major yarn and bag update at the beginning of the month, a smaller bag update in the middle of the month, to have enough quantity in that big monthly update that you don't have to get there right at 9 o'clock to get something. So that's my hope. So you want to see what you're going to get? Let's look. So this month is a slight departure from my normal color palette because I really need it to be spring, okay? And I think you probably agree. I know some of you live where it's nice and warm and lovely, but some of us do not. And it's been snowy and crazy, and we really need some spring. So this is a departure from my normal color palette, but I thought, hey, why not? So here is the medium, large, whatever. Here's the project bag. Okay. So there is one, like, there's so many different, like, this is a definite, like, your pattern placement may vary. Because look at that. Doesn't that almost look like a totally different fabric? What? Here's your thing. Green zipper. Yay, spring! And it is lined with happy dandelions. Right. Happy dandelion floofs. So that is the smaller one. And it is 6 inches deep. 6 inches deep. It is 16 inches wide and 8 inches high. So it'll hold quite a lot of yarn. It'll hold like 4 skeins, I think, pretty comfortably. Let me just try something really quickly. 3. Yes. This is it with 400 grams of yarn in it. So these are interfaced. A lot of times I don't interface my bags because I use a heavier lining, but this is a cotton twill outer, so it's heavier than a quilter's cotton, but the inside is a quilter's cotton. So I did use interfacing. I will have a few that don't have interfacing for people who do not like interfacing of this size, but they just looked nicer with interfacing. So there's that size, and then there's also a few sweater sizes. So this is the same in terms of it's 16 wide, 6 deep, but it is 11 tall. And it'll hold a bunch. So yay for that! And again, same lining. So there will be those. And then, how did I even decide what yarns to do? Because look at all those great colors. What? So many great colors. But here's what I did. Okay, so how should I do this? Okay, I'll do it this way. So this is the BFL option. This is a 80-20, 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. And now this is not the high twist that I did last time. This has more yardage. So this one is 438, I believe. I hope that's right. It's either 438 or 463, but I think it's 438. So here is the orange, and the colorway for this one will be, are you ready? That bead in my ear. I usually don't do funny colorway names, but people asked for a bead in my ear colorway, and I thought I could get away with it with this fabric because it is actually like pretty close. And this is the color of the bead in the ear. And it is a semi-solid, so there is variegation. You go from a reddy pinky orange down to a more orangey orange. So yay! There's that one. And it will also be available in the 150 gram MCNs. So 80-20, 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon, 600 yards. So these are the bigger girls. That bead in my ear. And then, okay, then there's the green, because high is bringing green. And also it has to match the zipper. So this is the BFL one. Again, it was so fun. I was carrying it all upstairs to be put in on the drying rack. Well, not all of it, but I was carrying a quantity of it to put upstairs in the drying rack. And it looked like I had the biggest plate of yarn lettuce ever. It was awesome. So this one would be yellow lime. I know, really creative, right? But it's yellow lime. And it's also available in the MCN. And then the last colorway, I'm so sorry, is the Vindigo, which is a violet indigo, because there were so many good blues and purples on here, I couldn't decide. So I had to do more than one. So you get anywhere from almost like a darker sky blue all the way to a more eggplanty purple. And again, it's available in the BFL nylon, which is great. Basically, what is this? It's a little bit more versatile, this twist level. It's a little bit more versatile for both socks and shawls. Like the other one, it works for both, but this one has a little bit more yardage. It is a 4-ply, so it'll work nicely for socks. But it's also got a little bit more drape for a shawl. So, and then here it is in the MCN. So hooray! That's the update. It'll happen again April 5th, Friday at 9 Eastern time. Sorry, I just forgot what I was talking about. And then everything should ship out if it's ordered before Monday. Should ship out on Monday, because this month I am not going to do any additional dye slots because I am vending at the Knitting Pipeline Retreat. So I have, I'm going to try to do a custom bag and colorways for them. Or not custom. Specific? That's not the word either. Whatever. Exclusive. So I can try to do an exclusive bag and colorways for that vending event. So I will be busy. Okay. But hopefully there will be a middle of the month bag update. And that will happen, well, probably 2 Fridays after April 5th. So that's April 19th. Okay? So there you go. April 5th, 9 p.m. April 19th, 9 p.m. And I think that's all. Oh, the DK for sweater folks. There won't be any DK in the shop because, again, I did dye up the samples in these 3 colors. But since I'm not going to do any custom dyeing this month, the DK all has to be custom dyed because it's for sweater quantities, usually. So I'm not doing the DK this month, but I did dye up the samples. So if you want to order those in the future, that would be cool. Okay. So this is really long. I'm sorry. I'll totally talk to you next week. Bye. Not exactly goodbye. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you that there is a discount code for this month. If you buy 2 or more items, so if you spend $40 or more dollars, there will be a 10% off yarn. So basically, if you buy more than 1 skein of yarn, there will be a 10% off of yarn, and you can use promo code SquirrelFriend. 10% off yarn. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.